What's good, everybody? We got another episode of I Don't Work Here, Lady. Let's get into it. Lady thinks I'm a guard at a museum. Gets mad that I can't help her. So I'm in a pretty famous museum here in DC and I'm wearing a bomber-like jacket, dark jeans and some boots. Pretty casual, but I don't think I look like a security guard. I decided to rest for a bit on these chairs that are by an exhibit. By these chairs are some lockers that I guess people can lock up their items and not have to carry them around. A lady was having issues with the locker and attempting to get her stuff out. She looks at me and asks if I could help her open the locker. I told her I have no clue. She then asked in a pretty stressed tone that if I could find someone who knows what they're doing, and I said no, I can't. She scoffs and walks away from the scene. I stayed in the seats for a bit since the folks were browsing the gift shop and the same woman returned with a museum staffer in tow to help her with the locker. She points at me and barks that I'm the guard who wouldn't help her. The staffer looks at me and kindly informs her that, "Ma'am, he doesn't work here." I look at this woman and the guard and I'm just like, "Really, lady? Really?" She mutters that those chairs are for the guards anyways and told the staffer that the museum should have had a guard watching these lockers in the first place. I guess that's it to the story. Some folks will just find an excuse to be unhappy. Isn't that the truth? Dude's just resting there in the chairs and she's freaking out at him. Oh, you're sitting in a chair? You must work here. That makes sense. Caveman speak. So in the 90s, I rented a large workshop with two friends. I was a woodworker and the other two were metal workers. So obviously none of us resembled the previous business, which had installed skylights. And anyway, cue the customer of the previous business, C. I have condensed this as the verbatim conversation went on for a very long time. Arrives at my door, a real Karen. "I need repairs done to the skylights you installed." Sorry, that business has moved and I don't know where they are now." "No, I need you to send someone over now. The skylights are leaking." "As I said, that business has gone. We're a different company." "No, right now!" Repeat the above a half a dozen times. About now, I am realizing I am dealing with either a genuine loony or someone else too entitled to listen to plain common sense. I try another tact. Caveman speech. Who knows, it might get through. "Skylight business gone. New business come. You talking to new business now. Understand? Okay. No skylight here. Try look in phone book. You bugger off now." Customer leaves in a big huff. It's all about communication, folks. It's pretty sad that you have to do that sometimes, but I've definitely had my share of cavemen speaking to people as well, and I'm not proud of it. Lady hits me with her cart to discount her dog food. Just to preface this, I did work at Walmart, just not this one, and I was in the DEP, Delayed Entry Program with the Marines. I was also still in my PT gear, which was a navy blue t-shirt with the eagle, globe, and anchor on the front, the word Marines printed on the back, khaki shorts, and running shoes, which was very similar to what they wear in lawn and garden, where I did work but in another store. I had just got back from PT and I was hanging out with friends about 50 miles away from the recruiting office. We decided to go to Walmart just to mess around because we had nothing better to do. We walked around for a bit and decided to go to the clearance aisle, which was on the side of the store with the pets, lawn, and garden as well as hardware. We were all spread out looking at random stuff. All of a sudden, I'm pushed to the side a bit, followed by a sharp pain in my hip. First thing I think is my friends are just messing with me and I just say, "Come on dude, quit." But unfortunately it's not. It's some lady that's the stereotypical "let me speak to your manager" kind of gal. She becomes pissed and says, "Excuse me, you shouldn't be cussing at work. I'm going to file a complaint with your manager. I know the manager, blah blah blah. I need you to pass this bag and give me a discount on it." I'm looking behind the lady and she has made a trail of dog food behind her and the bag had a pretty considerable hole in it. My friends are just staring at us and kind of snickering. I point to the text on my shirt that says Marines, and before I could even say, "I'm sorry ma'am, I don't work here," she gets even angrier. She pulls out her phone and says, "That's stolen valor. I'm gonna call the cops and have you arrested." She begins recording me and I just say, "Ma'am, I don't work here and I'm in the delayed entry program with the Marines." At this point, she is still yelling at me and my friends try to defuse the situation, but this made her angrier. Apparently she got the attention of an actual employee and thankfully a manager. He asks what happens and before I can say a word, this lady says, "This child is impersonating a Marine. You need to have him arrested and all the dog food is ripped, blah blah blah." I eventually explain to him that I'm in the DEP with the Marines and he says, "Yeah, I can tell." He calms down the lady and patches the bag for her and discounts the food as she requested. What? The lady still got discounted dog food? I guess she knew the manager, but still. Come on lady, that's some childish behavior. "He's selling drugs, do something." A little context, I'm 6'2", I'm about 22 stone, and I'm quite well built, and I was about 33 at the time. It's winter and I'm out in London for a good friend's birthday. We went to a really posh Korean restaurant, so I'm dressed smartly and have a big dark blue cashmere coat. After the meal, the birthday boy, who is a few years younger, wants to go to a nightclub. Let's go to Cloth. Not the real name, but if you know clubs in London, you can guess which one it is. I'm half drunk, it's Friday night, so I'm knackered. I don't want to go, but I do. It's a huge ass line to check my coat, so I don't. There's like 15 of us, and I only know half the group, and everyone just scatters as soon as we enter. I spend my time walking around drinking overly priced beer, I think. Bored out of my skull. I'm too old for this stuff. I do start to notice, however, that everyone is looking at me and clearing a path when I walk through. People are bumping into me and immediately apologizing, hands in air. They think I'm a bouncer. Awesome, I think, but that wears off in a minute when crazy drunk lady comes over, probably in her late 20s, early 30s. Bear in mind it's in the club. I didn't hear everything she said, but this is the gist of it. Excuse? Those guys over there are selling drugs. There's a group of lads about 20 years old against the wall. And? Well, aren't you going to do something? No. Why not? Now I know she thinks I'm a bouncer, but F it, I'm tired and I don't owe her an explanation. Me, go away. She grabs the collar on my coat and tries to drag me over to them. I'm an immovable object, so she half falls to the ground, holding onto me with a drink in the other hand. I'm holding her now to stop her falling. And at this point, I'm guessing her friends come rushing over to pick her. They're saying sorry and please don't kick us out. I'm like, F it, I'll be a bouncer. Look, just watch her, will you? I'm busy. Anyways, 20 minutes later, I go out for a smoke, and the group of lads are outside, and one of them comes over. Hey man, what did that lady tell you? That you're selling drugs? No man, she came over to us and asked us for some pills. We don't have anything, but she didn't believe me. You can search me if you want. Mate, I'm not a bouncer. I don't actually care. It's sorry, man. And he walks off. Just to be clear, I didn't see any drug taking in this club at all. Not to say it doesn't happen, as I have seen it elsewhere, but a lot of what you read in the news is hyped. Those lads were having a good night. The lady was pissed as a newt, we would say in England. That's funny as hell. This older lady goes into the club looking for pills and then tries to get the kids in trouble for selling pills that they don't have. What? And that's it for today, everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.